like I said, this video is called Time for an Explanation. I have no idea what this is about, but, apparently something juicy happens at this timestamp, so I guess I'm going to talk about it. It's Crowder, so maybe it'll get views. I don't know.
I'm not speculating. I'll have my doctor on. I'll have a neurologist on to talk about it. And yes, listen, President Joe Biden and, of course, the mainstream media, although really they're not so mainstream anymore, which
I like how he's calling Biden president. Hey, that's cool. Congratulations on not being in an entirely, separate fucking reality. I didn't expect that much from you, Crowder, but, good on you. I will commend you for that.
We'll get to in a second. Hollywood, they're a primary adversary. But a lot of Republicans did nothing. Okay, for 4 years, did nothing. And I'm not just talking about the election, which we've covered at length here on the program. As a matter of fact, some of the information in the amicus briefs came from yours truly, and I shouldn't be doing that. Republicans had 4 years, and they did nothing about the biggest issue of our time, big tech.
Big tech. Big tech. So in the last video, Candace Owens, when she said big tech, she mostly meant Facebook. So who is the big tech boogeyman in this video? I want to know. I do not like this vague term. It does not give me much information. And, even if I was like a conservative viewer watching this, I would want a term that was more informative. I don't know. I would be upset by that term because it's so vague. I try not to use vague terms, and if I do, I want to be very thorough in my explanations when talking to people. I guess, sort of tripopoly, for lack of a better word, but the corporate censorship, the foreign interference that can take place, rules and guidelines that are... Corporate censorship and foreign interference. So, if we go by last video, Candace Owens said that TikTok is Chinese spyware, which, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't know. But I think that it's a very big stretch to say that, like, the Chinese government has anything to do with, like, TikTok, which I think was, just made by some company. I don't think every company in China has anything to do with the government. I really don't. And if I'm misinformed on this, and I just don't know about this, please educate me. Like, I'm totally cool with that. I could be wrong on anything I say, but, I honestly don't know about this, so I'm going to be transparent about that.
Really important as we go into the next decade. All the tweets, all the hearings, all the subpoenas, nothing was done. As far as big tech is concerned, they are undefeated against Republicans.
Okay, so Crowder is complaining that, I guess, social media platforms, we don't know if there's any one in particular he's offended by, but, we're just going to go with, he mentioned tweets, so let's just take Twitter as an example. Twitter has a terms of service. When you get Twitter, you should probably look into this terms of service. The terms of service, the TOS, is a list of terms and rules that you need to be aware of and be mindful of and make sure not to break. That is the contract you agree with whenever you sign on to a platform like this. When you agree with these terms, that gives you permission to use the platform. This platform is free. The only price you really have to pay is what's in those terms. So, again, you can complain about that. That's fine, but seriously, if you're a capitalist and you love, the rights of corporations and you love the rights of private business and all of that, you should be totally down with social media sites and platforms having terms of service. You should. Because otherwise you're just a hypocritical little piss baby when, you get banned for saying something bigoted. On these platforms, bigotry is not tolerated. That's just how it is. You can go on another platform like BitChute, or you can make your own platform like Parler. Although that didn't really go well because I'm pretty sure like the server site that hosted Parler had a problem with Parler. So I guess they had their own TOS. I don't know. Big tech is big tech just a dog whistle for any tech companies that do not let them get away with breaking TOS? Yeah, basically. That's essentially what it is. They really don't define it themselves. Every time these people talk about big tech, they never talk about TOS. Yeah, TOS it's basically it's a contract for a lot of things. We have TOS for like stores. It's not really like a written thing, but yeah, there you have expected behaviors and things you can and can't do in like stores. As well as like, you know, workplace rules. Like it's just a form of rules. I'm gonna actually just continue the video and see if there's any more juicy stuff in here.
And we are filing a major lawsuit February 1st. I bring this up with Republicans because, you know what? Listen, they're not our friends. I know there's the 11th commandment that Ronald Reagan spoke about and Andrew Breitbart reiterated, that you shouldn't speak ill of your fellow conservative. But not all of them wear the team jersey. And of course, former Vice President Joe Biden he's really honestly not the main problem in the country. He's a symptom of the problems going on right now. But at what point is it no longer the same team jersey? And we've had conversations with some of these people who hold legislative power behind the scenes and have seen them kowtow because they're afraid of losing maybe their little slice of platform. Well, listen, big tech thinks that they're undefeated.
Okay. So what I'm getting from this is Steven Crowder and Candace Owens, if we're going to go by the last video, they want to make a lawsuit against these private platforms because they're getting censored for telling misinformation. You know, it's just hold on. I want to know, is Louder with Crowder? Haha. That's really funny to me. That's really funny to me. They're very, very upset. They're very, very upset that when they break TOS, there's a problem. I don't think they have really any legal grounds to stand on here because it is within a private company's rights to have a TOS for like social media platforms. That's just completely within their rights. So I don't think they have really any ground to stand on here. Like the government, like with the thing I covered yesterday with Biden and making an executive order saying that like you can't discriminate against LGBT people in the workplace, that kind of modifies the national TOS a bit if we're having this conversation. And you know, I think that's a good thing. I think that, you know, companies sort of declaring what is and is not okay, I think that's within their freedom, and we live in a capitalist society. You should be totally for that. Like, that's optimizing capitalism to have it refined for like the people's needs. Now, I don't like capitalism. It's not my vibe. Unfortunately, we live in capitalism, but you know, there are ways to make capitalism better and more bearable, and I think that trying to stop the spread of misinformation is very important.
Because they think that they're untouchable. All the tweets, nothing has happened. But by
dude, it's their platform. It's their platform. They make the rules. It's not like they think they're untouchable. Dude, it's their platform. Consider this, please.
This year, they're going to have a half Asian Kraken in their L column. Okay, of that you can be certain. Details I can't talk about now. Again, Black History Month first. And
okay, I don't. Steven Crowder does this thing a lot where he talks about his lawyer, but he always says that he's half Asian every time he brings him up, and it's really, really weird to me. Like, that's just weird. Imagine you have a friend who's a person of color, and every time you talked about them, you said, my black friend. Every single time. Like, it's like an addiction. Like, it's just so weird to me. I don't understand it. Why does he feel the need to say that he's half Asian all the time? The reason why, I think, is because in his head, he's so race-oriented. He thinks so much about race, and it means so much to him. It matters so much to him, like, whether someone is white, or a person of color, or Asian, or mixed, like, he takes that into consideration for some reason. For some reason, I don't know, I'm not in his head, but, like, it's just really weird to be a person that is this, like, race-oriented. Like, it really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter, but, like, that use of language indicates that he's very race-oriented, and I'm just saying that's weird. That's just really fucking weird.
Republicans, people don't remember this. I was around when Barack Obama was inaugurated. I was a commentator at Fox News when the Tea Party was started. The rant from Santelli. And I remember Republicans they were painted as the party of no. They were painted as the party, that's all they did, no. And I defended them sometimes. And this, of course, doesn't apply to all Republicans, but that criticism was right.
I defended them. Again, I want to harp back a little bit on, like, what he was saying as, like, the other conservatives aren't wearing the team jersey. Like, it's this whole team thing, and you kind of have to, agree with everyone no matter what kind of thing. I don't know. That sort of mentality. And I think on the left, we are the exact opposite of that, where there's a lot of infighting, there's a lot of disagreement, and there's not as much, like, circle jerking as there is on the right. As you can see, Crowder is mad that there are people that aren't conforming. And we saw on, like, the Donald.win yesterday and yesterday's stream, people saying, oh, Mitch McConnell and the GOP, they're not real conservatives and all that stuff. And it's like this weird need for, like, conformity that I notice a lot in conservative circles. It is the exact opposite of that with the left. There's so much infighting, and I think that the left needs a bit more unity, but we're very critical of each other's ideas. And I think it's a good thing to be critical of each other's ideas, but I think the left is critical to an unhealthy degree in some cases, whereas the right, they have I think it's like sort of like a hive mind. And then when people break from the hive mind, there's a big problem. There's drama when that happens. If that's how I would describe it. How long has this video gone for? I don't know if I want to make it too long. 15 minutes? We can go for a little more. We can record a little more. This is gonna get cut down a little bit when edited, anyways.
Republicans would rather be the party of no than actually use their power for good when they have it. And this is something that's important. You won't only be judged by what you did when you were powerless. You'll be judged by what you did with strength, with power once you attained it. And it's been disappointing for me, but we've had to get ready for this lawsuit. There were some. Look, okay, I'll say this. I'll say this once, and you'll never hear me say it again. This has been the #1 conservative show across media platforms with a bullet for a while now.
Okay.
It's not even close. And we don't come out and say that because you hear some of these shows say #1 show or top growing show or fastest growing show, because we want the show to be judged on the merits of its content. Okay, sorry, I had to do a quick cut because a plane was going by overhead.
I don't care.
There's not even an airport here.
I don't care.
Oh, someone must be crashing. That's unpleasant.
Okay. This got really boring. I thought I was gonna, like, want more. Can I skip a little bit? This is really boring.
If we'd just be able to reach the people who have chosen to subscribe and like our pages.
Okay, chilling. Anything else?
On a more full-time basis at Mug Club Ladder with Crowder.
Why do you keep shilling?
For some similar health issues, and we now know that they might have been misdiagnosed. I've just sort of had to compensate and live.
Okay, I don't care about health issues. Anything else?
out of my chest and getting faint.
Your chest. Okay. I'm sorry your chest hurts or something.
And I didn't want to come back and stutter step, come back.
All right. Yeah, I don't care. Okay, there's nothing else really interesting here. Yeah, I've been looking for something interesting and it just got really boring. So that was Steven Crowder. Time for an explanation. Talking about big tech, censorship, and yeah, I don't know. This guy is just weird, bro. This guy just weirds me out. Anyways, Crowder, I hope your chest feels better, even though I don't like you at all. And yeah, I think that's the end of that video.